Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on our beautiful placemat. I'm trying to get it all organised now. And coaster set for Christmas. How gorgeous are they? Check it out. Check it out. Okay, so you have already done part one. If you haven't done part one, I've left a link to part one in the description box down below. Yay! Check it out. Continue with part one. Come back and meet us here for part two. For the rest of us, you will need to make sure you have plenty of cotton in stock. Altogether, for both pieces, I use between 55 and 57 grams of cotton, mixed colours of course, not altogether, that is, not each. And so hopefully you can use some of your colours in your stash. And you will need your 4mm hook that we've been using all along, your scissors, your sewing needle, and you really only need one stitch marker, but I put two there because I always seem to have two in stock when I'm doing this sort of work. Or I'm sorry about the recording, guys. I wanted to try and record it properly on the stand, but you can't see it. So I'm doing it like this. So there you go. And apparently my plates are way too big. You shouldn't be eating so much, apparently. Don't tell anyone. All right, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to let you get started finishing off part two of your gorgeous Christmas crochet placemat and coaster set. Good luck all. Alright guys, where I left you off in part one, we completed one piece with 60 stitches in the final round, and I said head off on your own and create the second one, keeping your yarn attached to one of them. So let's move that one aside. That's going to be our coaster. Today we're going to work on the placemat and then we're going to do the border. Now the border for both of them are exactly the same. So let's start off with the placemat. Okay, what we want to do is once again pop our hook in the middle stitch of one of our three. Now that's our last knot, sorry. So there's our three. You've got your 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pop it right in that middle stitch. You may notice it's already been worked on because naughty me recorded it and I accidentally used the green. But the next colour was red. You know, this is what happens when you're not focused. You can use the green if you like. You can use whatever colours you like. But yours truly needs red. Pull the loop through. You've done this part before, guys. Whoops, that's too close. All right. And you know about how to start it all. So pass your little tail forward, chaining 1, a 2 and a 3. Grabbing your little stitch marker and popping her in right there. Double crochet in the same stitch. You know this part, you've done it in every round. Double in the same stitch one more time. Pop your little thread at the back. Across here you are going to put 9 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and before you do your 8, if you started where I did, start your 8, grab that white, passing it at the back, and complete your 8th stitch. Now remember what I do here, you either pop your hook in the stitch or in the tiny little slip stitch there. I'm going to pop it in the stitch for this particular tutorial, doing our 9th double crochet, and there's our 3. That's the chain, which is our first, and our second is right in the middle there, and you are doing your 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Now the reason I've shown you like this is because I want you to make sure you stay focused on your corners always being in the middle stitch. Even if you end up with the chain right there, which you will, you got to make sure that you don't do an extra stitch in there and everything moves over. Yeah. So what are you going to do? Another 9 across this way. Seeing the pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, my thread is getting caught, and 9, which lands in the first double crochet of your 3. So the tip is, if it doesn't land in that first double crochet, then you have something wrong in your previous round, all right? In your second double crochet, you are putting 3 double crochets, all right? It's the same as you've been doing all along. And now we're going to talk about some instructions so you know what to do. But you are gaining 2 stitches in every side. This is now starting to grow, and you're going to make another 100,000 rows. No, not really. She's such an exaggerator. What you're going to do now is continue this round. Get to this stitch right here, meet me back here, and we'll talk about what we're going to do. So what you need to do is 9 double crochets across, 3 in the middle, 9 across, 3, 9, 3, 9, get to that last stitch, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. All right, guys, here we are at the end of this round, and you should have 72 double crochets altogether, yeah? What you're going to do now is simple, what we've been doing all along. Slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, pull up, oops, a loop like that without losing it. Give it a cut, pull it through, take out your stitch marker, and get ready for some instructions. Yay, yay, yay. All right, it's looking big, and what you have so far is that and that. All right, so don't worry about your coaster. We're going to sort that out later. We're going to focus on this placemat right here and what I want you to do. And here are the instructions. Now, don't stress. I'll also leave a written instruction after this section as well. But you pretty much know what you are doing. The pattern is, let's go right back from the beginning. You've got your 3 double crochets and 3 double crochets there. In the middle, you've got 3 double crochets across. The next round, you had your 3 double crochets on either side and 5 across. 3 double crochets either side, 7 across. And our last round that we just did, 3 double crochets on each side, 9 across. Your next will be 3, 11 across, 3, 13 across, 3, 15 across. Okay, so you are going to head off on your own and continue increasing in that manner. And that's pretty much it, guys. All you need to do is continue those rounds over again. I'll leave the instructions at the end of this little section now, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. Alrighty, guys, here it is. How big is it? Now, you should be on your white row. You should have been also on your 25 across this way row and your 3s there. We're going to do a final round now. Grabbing your hook and your next colour, I'm going to be using the red. Now, I asked you to leave the white attached to your piece, one of your pieces, in case that you wanted to use the white. So what a lot of people might do, this row is a very, it's a little bit technical, but it's a one tiny little row around your work. And so it might look like all you've done is puff up the white row. So if you wanted to, let's just pretend I don't think I'll use the white. I'm going to be changing to the red because I like red, yeah? But I'm giving you guys the option to use the white. For a starters, what we're going to do, I didn't put my stitch marker, guys. Make sure you have your stitch markers. I don't use them when I'm in a hurry. But don't tell anyone. Shh, don't tell them. Slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker in it, as though any other round. Now, if you're not changing your colour, what I want you to do is chain 1, and that stitch that you just finished before you slip stitch, you're going back into it. This is called the reverse single crochet stitch or the crab stitch, yeah? So grabbing your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through. Notice how I hold that little loop, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Now, if you are new to crochet and you struggle with this, just do a round of single crochets. All right, so you're going to do it again. Grab your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, before we continue, I'm going to change to the red because yours truly, well, I like my red. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is pull up my loop. You don't have to. This is just me being, you know, pedantic and fussy. But I want to show you what the red looks like anyways, and you can decide whether you want to use the red. Okay, this is a final round, guys. This is the look that'll puff up your work and give the edge a little bit of a lift to make it look gorgeous. Now again, if you are struggling with this stitch, go right ahead and use a round of single crochets, and that's it in every stitch. All right, for now, because I'm using the same area as everyone who wants to do theirs in white, I'm going to pop my hook back in that slip stitch, only because, oh, it's a really tight slip stitch. We're using the same area. Yep. And I want to be in the same area as you guys. So there you go. Pull that loop through if you are using the red. Just bear with me if you're not. I'm coming. So it's Christmas. Chain 1. And if you've got this big tail, just pop it at the back. And once again, you are bringing your loop into that, single, double crochet right there and doing a normal reverse stitch or crab stitch. And we'll do that again into the stitch, pull the loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Right, into the next stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Next stitch and pull through 2. All right, can be a little tricky, the stitch. Don't pull so tight, and of course don't leave it too loose where sometimes a little bit of your end can stick up like that. That might be a tad loose, but I'm going to leave it for now, and into your very next stitch. And that is the look you're going for. It won't look right until you finish off half the row, and then you'll kind of work out the look. I'm starting to think the red is no good, but anyway. Do you like that? I'm starting to think, uh-oh, I don't know if I like the red, but keep going. How about that? I don't even know if I like the red. Keep going all the way across, okay, until you get to this try the second stitch. It doesn't matter, just get to the corner section right there. I'm going to pop this on fast, and we're all going to get to that corner section, and I will meet you there once you get to that section. All right, and off we go. I'm kind of glad I put that on fast because that took me forever. And I kept making loose stitches. So there you go. All right, so I'm on the section where I've got my 3 double crochets in a row. Guess what? That's it. You're just going to go into it and keep going. And the reason is because when you start making a piece like this, as it grows bigger, it starts to wobble a little bit. So this will actually close up that wobble and make it nice and tight so it's not so loose. Yeah, and it won't wobble. Buckle, I don't know what you want to call it, buckle, wobble. I call it wobble. It's probably a buckle's a better word. But anyway, all right, so that, my dears, is that. Now your job is to do, oh, I don't realise I can't get this in. It's so big. Your job is to do your crab stitch or your reverse stitch all the way around your piece. Get to, and get this, the last 2 stitches right there. And we'll talk about what we're going to do next. All right, head off on your own, continue that, and I'll meet you there once you're done. Ta-da! How is that looking? This is really big. I have a really big plate, guys. I have a really big plate. But there's nothing wrong with having a big one. It really isn't. What? They're saying it's too big. No, it's not. It's good for you. And I'm naughty, aren't I? All right, so let's get a close-up right here. So this is a tricky area, and I always have to really think twice when I'm doing it. We have the 1, 2, and then we have that first chain set that we have here. All right, so let's go into each one of those. 1, 2 stitch, like that, and then there's that first chain set. All right, so what I'm going to do, let me just move the little red out the way. We're going to do another one in the stitch with the chain, yeah? So we're going to bring our, sort of like a chain, yeah? We're going to bring our hook in the stitch, doing a normal one, like so, grabbing your loop and pulling it through like that. Normally I would chain one, but we're not going to do that. We're going to, let's pull a bigger loop so I don't make a mess of this. Cut it, in case I make a mess. And there it goes. What you're going to do is sew that stitch into, and I'll show you in a minute, grab your little sewing needle like that. See, it looks unfinished, and it is unfinished, yeah? So what you're going to do is thread your needle like so. All right, here's where I pin myself. Here's where I pin myself. Just going to turn it around. Now, the reason is we are going to work, oh no, actually we should work this way so you can see where it's going into. We'll work that way. All right, you've got it, it's literally that stitch has not been finished, yeah? So what you've got to do is pop your needle, it's really awkward to show you, but you want to pop your needle in through the stitch that you have right here like that, splitting the stitch. So grab that needle and popping it through that stitch. Oh, I've got a long tail. Let me get that tail out the way. Oh, come on, tail. You had one job, tail, not to be there. There it is. And just give your work a bit of a tug. Now that thread there, that little red one at the back, that's going to go later, so don't stress about that one. And when you give it a tug, don't pull too tight because you're going to have that look about it. All right, so that's that. Turning it around, you're going to start weaving your end in. I'm just giving it all a tug, so I don't want it too tight. I don't want it pulling the work. That wasn't the idea, yeah? All right, so here, let's move it out of the way there, and we can just find some ends to weave into anywhere you like. And I've done it again. That little tail end is way too long. Come on, let's straighten it up so it's no longer that long. Oh, I didn't want to pull it. Oh, no. You don't want to pull it. You don't want it to be that tight. Yep. And then you're going to find some little threads that you can keep going into one way, like so. And you're going to go back in the other direction. Now the reason is you'll be able to thicken it up a little bit. I pulled it too tight, that's terrible. Don't pull tight, guys. No, it's really tug. Look at that. No good. Oh, hang on, here we go. Here we go. We're loosening up again. That's better. Just grabbing your tail end and finding some threads anywhere at the back that you can weave into. Guys, I do apologise if you hear a bit of noise in the background. There's a fella working on my neighbour's shed roof, and I can actually see his legs from where I'm sitting. I can see him walking across the shed roof. Don't you love it? And it's just, he can look right into the kitchen and see me talking down to the table. Imagine what he's thinking. This crazy lady's talking into a table. Because, you know, the way it's recording is face down. But he's making a lot of noise, and I've been avoiding it through recording, but I can't avoid it now because it's the end of the day and the light will come in and I won't be able to record properly for you. So I have to continue. All right, so have you weaved it in once, twice, and 3 times? If so, I would say that is plenty. And notice how I went forward. I went forward, back, and then forward again so that it's gone. I'll just show you in a minute. So you can see, oh, I don't know why I did that. I'll bring it back down again. Sorry, I'll bring it back up again so you can have a look at it. It looks like, we'll get rid of that red at the back. Let's pretend we've weaved that in at the back. It looks like any other stitch now, yeah? Any other stitch. So your job now is to weave in these 2.5 million ends. But how gorgeous does that look? Grabbing the plate, popping it on, ta-da! I have a very big plate. That is a really big piece. It's a very big plate. All right, guess what, guys? You're not finished yet. No. You're thinking, what? No, you still have this little guy left. You still have him left. Did you forget? I didn't. I'm not going to start from there this time. I'm going to start from here, and then when we get into there, we can see if we can adjust it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Grab three of you. I've lost the plot now because it's the end of the tutorial. So just grab the center of your work. Actually, no, we won't grab the center. We'll grab the stitch before the center. Yeah, just before it. Well, it's actually the stitch after it. But in the way we're working backwards. We're working against everything crochet is. Grab your tail, pull that loop through, and pull it forward to lock it into place. Oops. You should actually pull it the other way to lock it into place. It doesn't matter. It's not locked into place if you think about it. Just leave it there. We'll fix it up later. All right. So what are you going to do here? You're going to single crochet into the very next stitch backwards, or reverse single crochet, or a crab stitch. You're doing exactly the same thing we did before, except you're doing it in miniature version. You like that miniature version? It's super duper, no, it's not easy. It's super duper fun. Let's try that instead. It is a fun looking stitch. It highlights the rest of your little coaster or placemat with the other one. The reason I'm doing it like this, I want to show you what happens when you get to that knotted area. We're almost there. All right, what you've got is that double crochet and your knot is there, but that's the slip stitch section and that's the actual knot. So we're going to go into the first double crochet that's there, or in the way we're looking at it, the last one. Like so. And then you've got that knotted area. You can either go into that, I would prefer not to, or go directly into the actual knot, which is a bit tight, but go directly into the knot. That would be my suggestion. And do your single crochet. You can weave that knot in at the back later, so it won't be noticed at all. Super duper fun. I'm not going to say easy. I always say super duper easy. It's not an easy pattern because it's worked in the opposite direction than what crocheters are used to. All right, so I'm not going to let you sit here and let me do that. Watch me do that, sorry. I'm going to let you head off on your own and get to the side. See, I'm so used to doing it that way. Get to this stitch right here and I'll meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of this round, or close to it. Oop. I went too far, sorry. Or close to it. All right. We have a stitch before that little chain spot, which is there. Oh, the sun's starting to come out. It's getting too bright in here. All right, see that little stitch right there? That's the one that we were looped into before. Like we did the other one, we're going to pop our stitch in, pull the loop through it, but don't finish it off with a slip stitch or anything. Give it a cut, pull it through. It's not finished, that stitch, is it? Normally it would need a chain like I mentioned before, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to thread our needle without splitting all that yarn, and we're going to work this way again. Now remember what I did before? I actually, oh, the sun's helping me now. I actually split the stitch a little bit like that, to get my stitch in it. I hope that helps. Yeah, That's the right way. And we're just going to pull it through like so. Well, that one worked a lot better than the other one. I don't know what happened. Maybe because there wasn't enough lighting. Who knows? All right. So what you're going to do is weave in a little bit any way you want. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you can't see the needle from the front, and you can't, which is good. And just pull that little tail through. And again, don't pull this too tight, yeah, because it will tug and whatever else have you, yeah. And you're going to go back the other way. This one's so much better. Well, it's not too bad, the other one. I got so fussy, that's all. You know me and fussy. All right. And just one more time, find some spots anywhere that you can split some yarn. It's very thick for me, so I'm going to look in the front. No needle. Good. Sometimes if it's too thick, it means I've gone through the white, which was okay. But it also means I may have gone through on the front, and you don't want that. Okay, and that's that. Don't rip your work. Don't cut your work. There you go. All right, so cutting your piece, turning it over, flipping it over, and you cannot tell which was the right side that we worked on, the wrong side. You cannot tell, and it was right here. All right, so how cool is this? You now have, let me grab my water, which I should be drinking more of. Ta-da! And this is our Pretty as a Peacock cup that was gifted to me by the lovely Jody Mann. Now, Jody actually helped us through a giveaway, or we call them surprises now. Here is the blanket. That's our Pretty as a Peacock blanket. If you have not made this blanket, it, as you can see, is now complete. And I have left a playlist to that blanket in the description box down below. Is it not divine? All right, so this was my Pretty as a Peacock cup that Jody gifted to me. Thank you so much for that, Jody. Well received. I've been using it so long. I love it. But there we are. That's that. And that is our gorgeous placemat, which you need to pop your little plate on. And let's see, we're all out. We're out as far as we can go. And well, we can't see anymore. We can't see anymore. But there you go, guys. That is that. That is that. Don't forget you need to weave in all these bazillion, gazillion, million, trillion ends, yeah? And a special thank you to the lovely Bernadine for her choice of colours here. Now, okay, they're Christmas colours anyway. Let's hide them all, so pretend like they're already weaved in. Oh, how perfect am I? I've weaved in all my ends, yay. The lovely Bernadine, they are Christmas colours, but she had no idea what the actual item was that we were creating. So we were creating, and we have created, I should say, our gorgeous placemat and coaster. So, guys, what can I say? Thank you very much for joining us. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and get excited, guys, if you want to be a part of choosing the next set of colours for our next project. Join us at 10 a.m. Saturday mornings, Melbourne, Australia time. We have our lives on that one, and that's where we do our live antics, if you will, which is what we call choosing our colours. Also, don't forget you can actually join us on our Wednesdays live as well. We don't do live antics on that, but we do have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of silliness. I don't know who's silly. I'm always such a good person. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. All I want to say right now is Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Yay. Enjoy your placemat and coaster. Ciao for now.